All right, we are back here, guys. This is the Midpoint Marvelous Facts. I got two characters in the spotlight here tonight, and they're both X-Men centric guys, or women, if you will, for this week. And they're both at least appear in Rogue and Gambit #1, which is our next book. So we got first character here is Armor. She's got a brief appearance in that issue in a danger room scene. Her first appearance, she's relatively new, was in Astonishing X-Men, Volume 3, number 4, and created by Joss Whedon and John Cassidy. Armor is a mutant with powers based around a psionic exoskeleton. Just couples, that basically sums up her powers in simple terms. Got a couple facts here related to her armor and whatnot here. It said Armor confronted at one point X-Men Danger, who's in she's on the gold team currently, or the blue team?
Blue team. She's the Blackbird. She's the plane.
Yeah. It goes back and forth from being the plane to sometimes she steps in the matter of things, steps in the middle of things. So like Armor confronted Danger at one point in the past to get revenge for Wing's death. However, Danger revealed that despite being a mechanical entity and having repeatedly deleted and adjusted memory banks, she still cannot erase the guilt that she feels from the incident. Meaning killing Wing, and this appeased Armor to know this. So she obviously didn't bring Danger to death, but knowing the fact that Danger felt guilt was enough for Armor in regards to Wing dying. And then kind of a fact about her armor. So Armor's body armor is initially partially explained as being somehow composed of something related to her family lineage and ancestors. It's later described as being composed of memory. That was stated in issue of Wolverine Origins. Let me say this again. When Armor's armor is able to withstand blows from the Masura Masa blade, and that blade can literally cut through any material. Memory is the only material the blade cannot cut through. So that's where that explanation comes from. Similarly, in Astonishing X-Men Volume 3, number 39, Armor's armor expands and grows to the size of a building due to the fact she feels strongly about not attending her recently deceased mother and brother's wake. So those are kind of like just different aspects or ways the armor is affected or used, or obviously it can't be cut by the thing that can cut anything. So that gives you a basis of her power level there. The second one I decided to spotlight was Pixie, another X-Men, not very well known. Her first appearance was in New X-Men Volume 2, number 5, and her creation was by Nunzio Della Fippis and Christina Ware and Michael Ryan. So Pixie is a hybrid mutant and fairy, possesses powers granted to her by both her mutation and her inherent magical abilities from obviously being a fairy, without a clear distinction regarding the source of each power. One of the many possible candidates at one point in time for Sorcerer Supreme, the title held by Doctor Strange, or currently Loki, I think. And then her wings, they appear to change in response to like her psychological state. They're kind of act like a mood wing, or mood wings, I guess you could say. That's kind of a aspect of her power there. But you got anything to add about Pixie or Armor? I didn't really know much about either of them, so that's why I chose the facts this week.
I like her armor. She's pretty cool. I think she never plays like a big role. Well, sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. Like X-Men Gold, for instance, the whole Negative Zone story. She's on the team right now, so she's actually one of like the members on the Gold team with this other guy called Ink, who's technically not a mutant. And yeah, that's really it. You know, she's cool, but they just don't use her enough. I saw her in another book too.
There's a bunch of X-Men like that. I mean, you could write a book about the X-Men that are cool that they don't use a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And with everything feeling like it's kind of pushing towards classic or more classic lineups, I don't think we're going to see some of these guys people like but haven't seen in a while for a little bit. But I don't know. There's always hope. There's writers that tend to favor different characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, if someone's a fan of Enoll, for instance, they're going to fucking feature Enoll in their book. So it all depends what writer you
like Lemire. Lemire was obviously a big fan of Enoll because he was through the whole entire run.
Yeah, he was in fuck, I don't remember the name of those books anymore. Extraordinary was the one.
Extraordinary X-Men, yeah. And you know what? Maybe you know, it'd be cool if she could show up in All New Wolverine, because if the Mira Musa blade can't cut through her right now, the Orphans of X are trying to use that blade to kill them so she could shield them. So, you know, they should call her up.
Yeah, that'd be a good phone call to make.
But, right.
Yeah, we're gonna skip ahead to the final book of the night in our 3-book night, and this is Rogue, which I keep spelling Roge on this goddamn notes I have all over the place. I think that's spell check's fault, because when I spell checked it, it did that to all the rogues. And Gambit, number 1. And we'll tell you guys whether or not to buy, borrow, or forget this book. Going to get into the solicit for you. We'll give you the rundown before we get to all that, though. So everybody's favorite X-couple is reunited, and boy, are they not happy about that. Kitty Pryde must send Rogue and Gambit on an undercover mission to find a group of kidnapped mutants. What they discover on this mission will shock them, but will it also bring them closer together? It's a high-stakes caper that only 2 of the hottest X-Men can deliver. I wouldn't say they're both not happy about it. I would say Gambit's more happy about it than Rogue, at least, you know, at the start of this issue. But yeah, we got Kelly Thompson, who's on writing duties. Art team of Pepe Perez, Frank DeMarta on colors, and VC's Joe Carmanga on letters. So yeah, this is the first issue of a new X miniseries here. They got a couple coming out this month. But this issue starts off in a place we'll revisit later on in the issue, Ciudad Paraiso, it's called. And we get a brief glimpse before we get there of our title heroes, just kind of like past scenes they've had together before we flash to these mutants running through, I don't know, just looks like streets, trying to run away, obviously, from somebody who's scaring the shit out of them. Looks like they were possibly captured or you know, obviously they're running away from something. We're not really sure what yet. One of them is a male in the group, and there's 2 females with him, and the male is injured, so he's making this escape kind of difficult on everybody. They end up dashing down an alleyway thinking they have a moment of safety when whatever they were running from, quote unquote, the threat, catches up to them. And it looks like he pretty much, I don't know if he vaporizes them, kills them, or just knocks them out and brings them back. I'm not sure really. It's hard to tell.
Knocks them out.
Yeah. So yeah, then we move on from that scene and we go check in at the Xavier Institute where Storm, she's supervising a danger room session that looks like it was organized by Rogue. When Gambit pops in, visiting Storm, and sees that Rogue is down there. Fighting with a few other X-Men. 2 of them we featured in the midpoint facts, so Pixie and Armor. You know, amongst a few other people, Psylocke's in there. Gambit decides to pop into the fight kind of unannounced to Rogue, even though Storm knew what he was up to. And this results in just basically Rogue and Gambit having a back and forth, which ultimately ends up distracting Rogue. And she's about to get squashed by this Danger Room Sentinel when Gambit rushes over and I don't know, what's he put off, like some card power or something? Kind of ends up
he charges his bow staff to shatter the Sentinel's hand.
Okay, yeah, so he ends up saving her, and then they have this real like action movie-esque guy on top of girl scene, you know, when the guy saves the girl from danger, and they have that awkward, like, you know, rubbing on each other moment. And it ends up resulting in Rogue kind of slapping Gambit off of her, and like, we're not doing this again. So yeah, we then go into the hallway. Yeah,
that all the chicks were having with each other. Oh, they used to date. Oh, that's so hot. Oh, so dumb.
Yeah, it's like high school, college age drama there.
Yeah.
So then Rogue and Gambit are followed out into the hallway. Gambit tries to like get her to go to dinner with them, just as quote unquote friends. Rogue's really not feeling it and kind of gets saved by Kitty, who calls her into her office. So then we got Kitty and Rogue. Yeah, Kitty and Rogue. I'm mixing up names here. Kitty and Rogue kind of just having a discussion, which boils down to Kitty wanting to send Rogue out on this mission because a bunch of mutants, they can tell from the signatures and where they're huddled up, are all reporting to this tropical island where there's a claim of freeing mutants from their trauma if you come visit. And I think they're giving away free visits, or there's something strange going on. So Kitty wants it investigated because not a lot of people, I guess, are coming back. So she's asking Rogue to do this, and Rogue's not too hot on the idea, really. And then is even more not hot on the idea when Kitty kind of assigns Gambit to tag along with her because it's like a couple retreat type thing. You ever see that movie with Vince Vaughn? That's like exactly what's going down here.
I hate that movie.
So, you know, it's one of those movies my girlfriend made me watch. I think I enjoyed more than hate, because, you know, I usually prepare for the worst for when she makes me sit down and watch something with her. So I think I enjoyed it for that. It made me chuckle when I expected to hate every second of it. But regardless, that's what's going down here. And next thing we know, even though Rogue was protesting about the assignment, they are on a plane somewhere over the Atlantic headed to this island, to this place. And her and Gambit are basically just having another back and forth for like the third or fourth time this issue already. And this one is revolving around whether or not Rogue made out with Deadpool at some point in time because she won't currently kiss Gambit. So, yeah. So Gambit found out he's a little bitter about all that. They land in Riso, which is where we saw the mutants running away in the beginning. They shake the hand of this travel advisor or lady that runs the joint, and she shows them to their place. As soon as they like walk into this place, they're greeted by their neighbors, and they come over, say hi right away, and immediately invite Rogue and Gambit to drinks. And they're like, "Oh, after your therapy session, why don't we all go get drinks?" And they're kind of like, "Oh, this is weird," like super friendly people, and you know, just inviting strangers out for beverages right away. So anyway, they end up taking a stroll down the beach to this therapy session that, I don't know, everyone seems to just go to and accept. And it's kind of the reason they're here for, you know, to like remove trauma or whatever. Again, Gambit and Rogue kind of just say, let's make the best of this. And, you know, if there's nothing up, let's just have fun here while we can, which leads basically to our cliffhanger of them being strapped to backboards, tied down, unable to free themselves. And Rogue all pissed off at Gambit, like you were saying. And that's how the issue ends. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I was afraid it was going to be, like mildly like a romantic comedy type book. That's exactly what I didn't want it to be. You know, there might be an intriguing mission behind all this, but I really hope in future issues, if they want to like grab my attention, that they stop with the back and forth so much and kind of just get to the point of the story, really. Because there was just a whole, like, I had to really work myself into sitting down and writing up notes to summarize for this book. Cause I got like 8 pages in the first time and I was like, oh, really? This is what I'm in for.
I put it down.
I texted you earlier today. I was kind of hoping you would have saved me, but no, I sat down and ended up hammering it out. So if you can't tell, this right now is currently a forget for me, even though I think the art looks great.
Yeah,
all the characters look fabulous. Like the coloring, I've been bitching about washed out colors and stuff, and there's none of that in here. So yeah, I mean, as far as the art goes, it's not like a truly garbage book. It's a forget for me because I'm not interested in the constant couple bickering. But I also feel like there could be a fun mission at hand once that actually starts happening. So if the answers are interesting in future reviews, maybe I'll check back in. But for right now, I'm leaning towards forget on this one, just because it was just such a chore. It felt like a longer issue than it really was.
It did.
How about you? What do you think? Anything different?
I had the same problem. I had the same problem. Like when I read it, I got like, Jesus, I don't even think I got like, I want to say 3 pages, but I'm not counting the first 2 pages where it's like kind of a dream sequence.
Yeah, and it's just like 6 words, literally over a bunch of splash pictures.
I mean, because when it first opens, it says, if time is a circle, then everything happens at once, and they're fighting each other. So I'm thinking maybe this is like a brief show of what we're gonna get in the future, maybe. I wasn't counting those pages, so like right when I saw like them fighting the other mutants, I was like, not fighting the other mutants. When the mutants were running away from that guy in the beginning, I'm like, okay, what's this? I don't know what this is. All right, and then I get to the danger room scene, and right at the conversation where Psylocke, Armor, and Pixie are talking about like, oh, are they even dating? God, that's so hot. I hope so. Blah, blah, blah. I put it down for a minute. Not even a minute. I put it down for a little while. And I was like, you know what? Like, I was sitting on my couch reading it. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a rest. So I put it down. I went into my room. I played some Fortnite Battle Royale for a couple hours. And then I picked it up and started reading it again. Because I knew I had to finish it, right?
Right.
So, yeah, and it's not awful. Like it's not awful. Like it has, it played exactly the way I thought it was. And Rogue and Gambit pretty much have that relationship that they've always had. Like if you go back and read '90s X-Men comics by like Jim Lee and Claremont, later Lobdell and Lee or whatever. It has that nostalgia feel of their relationship from like the early '90s, but it was just kind of boring. Like I just didn't really care. I don't know. I wasn't really interested, and I don't want to say that the book was awful or anything like you. Like it had great art, had wonderful art. I loved Pierre Perez. I loved his work at DC. I liked the Punisher Deadpool thing he did. Frank Diamarta's colors were a little shiny. Everybody had like a glisten to them, like like they were all a bunch of oily people.
Yeah, they were all Barbie dolls.
Yeah, like oily Barbie dolls. But yeah, I love Pierre Perez. His Valiant stuff is fucking fantastic. But yeah, it was okay, I guess. It could get good, at the end of the issue. They didn't draw out the therapy session, or maybe this was just a preview. We're going to see the therapy session, and this is where it's leading.
Yeah.
I like that they made it absolute clear that Rogue lost control of her powers.
Because I didn't really know that because I haven't been. I mean, I've read the occasional issue of Uncanny, but not all.
Because for a while she had her powers, like she had complete control of her powers, and now I wasn't sure if she did or she didn't. They never really specified it too much in Uncanny, so that was nice to get some clarity on that. They didn't. They keep going at it back and forth a little, like she's not like she doesn't have a thing going on with Johnny Storm right now. She kind of has like a little thing going on with Johnny Storm. Like they were sleeping in the bed together and Uncanny right before it ended, like a few issues ago, like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Her and Johnny are like mixing it up, kind of dating a little bit, got a little bit of a relationship going, but none of that is mentioned here. Like right now, Gambit's trying to get in the pants, and she doesn't say, "Hey, I'm messing around with Johnny. Chill the fuck out. It's never gonna happen." But yeah, it's a forget.
Yeah.
It's a forget. I kind of wanted to say borrow, but maybe it'll get better. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I think. It has the potential to turn into a borrow if it gets less away from the couples retreat type vibe and more in like an X-Men universe. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. Cool. Maybe we'll check in at the end and see if it got any better. But up here this week, guys, if you are looking to get a hold of us, again, hit us up with the email. You can talk about, anything on your mind as far as books you've been reading, or you want to mention something we haven't covered yet. Because sometimes, we might be recycling too many of the same old. Let us know. Holler at us. That's what that stuff's there for. Again, that's at marvelmadness0@gmail.com. Same thing for Twitter. If you don't want to be so long-winded, hit us up there, DMs, or again, shoot us your poll lists. On Wednesdays when you pick us up, we retweet. Look for some books. I got 3 or 4 Marvel books I'll be buying this week, so a bunch of codes going out. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But next week, I'm gonna try to get 4 books done for you guys. Yeah, the X book is gonna obviously be Phoenix Resurrection. We're gonna keep bringing you that. The Spider book, we're gonna join back in on the Venom Inc. story going on. I think we're on 4 or 5. I don't even remember really right now. But Venom 160, that's where that can be founded. We're going to kick off the Avengers weekly crossover that's going to go on for the next few months. So we're going to peek at the first issue of that one. And then I'm interested in checking out, we'll label it event book, I guess. Old Man Hawkeye #1 and see what's up with that. Big fan of the Old Man Logan stuff. So we'll see what's going on with Old Man Hawkeye. And that's about it, guys. You got anything to add there before we sign out?
I got nothing.
No? All right. Again, you guys know where to find us. Holler at us if you're looking for us. And peace.